Operating instructions for the product. Precautions for starting the outboard engine. When mounting the engine on the boat, the engine should be installed in the middle of the transom board, fastening the engine. Before sealing, cam control lever should be unlocked to avoid the heavy damages caused by hitting obstacles underwater. When doing reverse gear shifting, the cam control lever should be locked. Fix the fuel tank and then connect the fuel pipe joint with the engine. Attention! The pre-mixed ration for 2T engine oil and gasoline are as follows: 1:25 at the first 30 hours, 1:50 after the first 30 hours. Loosen the fuel tank cap air valve. Pump the fuel into the carburetor with a manual pump. The overflow on the carburetor can be observed. If a tiny of fuel oozes, it means success in fuel pumping. Check whether the gear is in neutral and whether the key is inserted in the flame-out switch. Notice, it can only be started in the neutral gear, neither in the forward gear nor reverse gear. Pull out the choke. Pull the cord in 0.5 meter repeatedly 2 to 3 times so that the oil can be injected. Then pull the cord suddenly. Be quick with explosive force until the engine starts. To fasten it tightly. The gap between the spark plugs should be from 0.65 millimeters to 0.75 millimeters to ensure the ignition normal. Security check for the turn-off switch. Pull out the keys from the flame-out switch or press the flame-out switch button when the engine is running. If it can be turned off, it works. When sealing, please wear the emergency cutoff on the wrist to prevent from accidents. Precautions for gear shifting. Neutral gear to forward gear. Forward gear to neutral gear. Neutral gear to reverse gear. Reverse gear to neutral gear. All gear shifting should be done only when the throttle is at minimum and at the lowest speed. Notice, do not shift the gears when it's at high speed, and do not turn from the forward to the reverse directly, because it will destroy the gears if the revolving speed is too high. Single-cylinder strike checking caused by the circuit of the spark plug does not ignite. Open the top hood of the engine. Remove the spark plug. Connect the spark plug with the metal nut on the engine. Pull the starting cord and observe whether there are sparks. If yes, it shows that spark plug works. If not, the spark plug or ignition coil should be changed. Please check whether the spring in the spark plug cap is in normal shape and it connects with the copper wire firmly. Checking the single-cylinder strike. If the cylinder is overheat, the water passage block causes a water cooling malfunction, which leads to overheat on the cylinder, such as silt or foreign body block the water inlet. Temperature sensor fault. Use a multimeter to check the sensor in the water of 70 above or below 5 centigrade to see whether it's connected or not. If disconnected in the water above 75 centigrade, it's in working condition. If the water pump impeller wears or water pipe cracks, the water cooling of the engine is abnormal, so the cylinder cannot be cooled down. Tips for installing an oil pump after cleaning. Wind the oil pump threads with waterproof tape, then joint it on the engine. And then connect the fuel pipe with carburetor. Attention! When installing, nuts can only be fastened manually. Pneumatic wrench are banned. Carburetor cleaning. Fuel air mixture adjustment screw. Idling adjustment screw. Attention! Please do not adjust the fuel air mixture screw and idling screw without professionals. Take the two nuts off from the carburetor and remove the carburetor from the engine. Take the screws off from the carburetor. Then dismantle it and clean all parts carefully. For example, the filter screen and orifice. Attention! Do not adjust the fuel air mixture screw and the idling screw when cleaning the carburetor. Simple cleaning and maintenance of the machine. Please use fresh water to clean the outer part and water cooling passage when the machine is not in use. Open the orifice of the gearbox and lubricate the gearbox regularly. Attention! Gear oil must be replaced after the new engine runs 20 to 30 hours, and it should be replaced again after 100 hours. Propeller sleeping checking. Shift on forward. Rotating the propeller in anti-clockwise slightly. If the propeller rolls, it is sleeping. If not, it works well. Dismantle the upper unit from the engine. Remove the 6 nuts on the bottom hood. And then separate. Separate the upper unit from the connection shell. Remove the 3 nuts on the joints between the upper unit and the connection shell. And then separate. Replacement of the water pump impeller. Pull out the water pipe and inspect whether there's any damage on it. Take the rubber ring off from the drive shaft. Remove the nuts on the water pump. And take off the water pump top cover and water pump impeller. When installing, please pay attention to the connecting part between the water pump impeller and impeller pin. Blades of water pump impeller should be installed clockwise. Please rotate the drive shaft slightly when installing the water pump top cover to make the impeller and the top cover connected perfectly. Attention! Do not start the engine when it's not in water. If it starts in high speed and without water, the water pump impeller will be damaged in a sudden. The propeller replacement. Remove the nuts from the propeller. Take the propeller and other parts on the shaft successively, and then install the propeller in order.